Black people, we have a message for you guys. I have my message to also tell you guys, but at the end of this video, so you guys have to watch and listen to the exact message that a lot of immigrants are sending to you guys. And also, not only sending those messages to you guys, they want you guys to hold those messages with your two hands and run with it. Anyways, who am I to say those messages are wrong or right? When you watch, you are going to determine, and let me know what you think in the comment section. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. If this is the first time seeing it, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comment, and lastly, do not forget to share. Credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And guys, if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Subscribe. Thank you so much to every single one of you dropping commentaries, liking, commenting, subscribing. I love you guys. Let's get right into this video, and I'll be back with commentaries. Make sure you watch before you drop your comments, please.
African Americans, you are your own people now. And that should be enough. That should be enough. Over 246 years of enslavement on this soil. And as Martin Luther King Jr. said, before the Pilgrims came to Plymouth, you all were here before. That should be enough. You don't need any other hyphen to go along with it. You are an American. This is the soil that you were born. You're native to this place because you were born here. This is your nationality. The funniest thing about it is that you are the only group, I'm telling you this in a loving way, you are the only group of people, the only group of people that call themselves African Americans. Do you see, or hear Jamaicans call themselves African Jamaicans? Or do you ever hear African Trinidadians or African Barbadians or whatever the terminology is? So why is it that you are the only one that's running around with that narrative as though you have the keys to Africa? Listen, if to what benefit is it of yours? To what benefit? Because you're saying that our hair grow up towards the sun? You're no more African, or we're no more Africans than the people, the curly hair, the curly hair, I call them curly hair, the curly hair people, blue-eyed people who were born on Solomon Island. You're no more Africans than a Chinese who happened to be born on the continent. If you were born in a particular place, it means that that's your nationality. That's different from your tribe. First and foremost, Africans are not even running around saying, I'm African, I'm African. Africans more appropriately are telling you, yes, I was born in Africa, but I am a Ashanti, I am a Ewe, I am a this, I am a... So what tribe do you belong? What is your claim to fame? What benefit are you getting from this? If you were to pack your bags now and go to one of these African countries, you have no more rights than a mere stranger. So if you want to latch on to something that is of no value or no benefit to you, then go ahead and continue. If, for example, a Caucasian or a Chinese was say for example was born in Jamaica, would not make them a Jamaican? So why aren't you just an American? Do you ever hear them say, I'm Chinese Jamaican, or they're just a Jamaican? No, if you're talking about their genetics and all those other stuff, it's different. But they have a Jamaican passport if that's where they were born. You have an American passport and birth certificate if this is where you were born. You don't need any other attachment. This seems to me like it is acceptance anxiety. And it is also separation anxiety. Don't do that to yourselves. Don't do that to yourselves. Think better than that. Think of yourselves more highly than that. Africa is Africa. Africans on the continent are not even rooting for Africans on the continent because they know that there are different people, different culture within the continent. So why must you latch on to a breast that's not giving you any milk, any substance? You are beautiful. You're great. Continue to be great. You have your own culture within this culture. You have your own, as they say, swag. Continue to be great. That's all you need. If you were born here, you're an American, and that's just it. That's just it. because it has no further benefit to say that you are a this or you are that American. This is what it is. Just continue to be great, and that's all you need to do. Yeah, you're an American, you were born here, and that's it. Just done with the acceptance anxiety. It doesn't look good on you. It doesn't. Peace and blessings, love and light. Ciao.
I'd gotten a lot of really supportive messages on the one video I made with anti-blackness in anime, but I also did get a disappointing number of people who chose to overlook what I was saying to instead say, like, why do you even care? Like, you're Asian. Why do you care if, like, about racism toward black people? Like, and I think you shouldn't have to be personally invested to care. Um, as a kid, I didn't really learn about anti blackness at all. And it was only when I got older and I was looking into my own history as Asian Americans that I realized how much we gained from the African American civil rights movements. Um, our first leaders in the Asian American civil rights movement were heavily inspired by the Black Panthers. In fact, some of them were even members of the Black Panthers. This man here is Richard Aoki. He was one of three Japanese Americans who joined the Black Panthers. Especially in the 1960s and 70s, there were many Japanese Americans involved in civil rights activism, like Richard Aoki, I just mentioned, Yuri Kochiyama, Mike Tagawa, I believe, and part of that was from their experiences of internment. Even today, Japanese Americans remain one of the most progressive ethnicities of Asians in America. And I do want to reemphasize that you shouldn't have to get personal benefits from something in order to empathize with that cause, but I want to just really drive home how much Asian Americans have benefited from Black Americans. For instance, it might be hard to read this, but Langston Hughes is here speaking and criticizing the use of the atomic bomb. He basically believes that it would not be used against white countries. Now, obviously, the atomic bomb has not been used again since it was dropped on Nagasaki, but he had valid reasons to fear that. I mean, General Douglas MacArthur was very much of the mind that we should just nuke Korea off the map and that would solve the communist fear during the Korean War. And Martin Luther King, in his 1967 address, I believe, in this address, he spoke to recognize the horrors and the tragedies that Vietnamese people had to face during the Vietnam War. Malcolm X, friends with Yuri Kochiyama, was also an advocate against the use of nuclear weapons in Cold War Asia. I'm not trying to say this in order to diminish any racism that and prejudices that the Asian American and African American community have had against each other throughout centuries. But what I am saying is that we ultimately have a common struggle and cause against white imperialism, and that trying to constantly blame one side or the other and buy into white supremacist ideas is harmful to everyone. This page is from the Nadia Kim's book Imperial Subjects, and she speaks about how even Korean soldiers and civilians noticed the difference in treatment that white soldiers and black soldiers received. And additionally, they showed that they felt a little more companionship and fraternity with black Americans than with white Americans based on similar experiences of oppression. And some people are going to accuse me of cherry picking, and I do agree. I am picking out examples that support my idea that Black people and Asians can be allies for each other. There's been plenty of examples of crimes against both sides by either party, but I don't think that that ultimately should be what we allow to characterize our community's relationships with each other. And especially as an Asian American, I've firsthand benefited from um, a lot of Black movements. I mean, when I was a child, I grew up in a predominantly white space, and I would be a little distant from other children of color because I was worried about becoming a bigger target for harassment and racism that I faced a lot. And as I got older, I went to a high school that was, 51% black. It was very diverse. And that's where I first learned to really love and accept myself. And it was because oftentimes owed to these friendships I'd formed with black women. And as somebody who is dating a Black woman, I feel like it's my duty. Like, I've been her friend for years before we were dating. And I think I do need to learn more about my partner's community in order to be a better um, support for them. And I think that too many of us don't really consume content outside of our specific niches, or we only want to learn about things that we find directly applicable to ourselves. But at the end of the day, we're all connected. And I think learning about each other can really never be a bad thing. Because I am only human, there are some subjects that I generally won't make videos about just because I've received um, a lot of hateful comments in the past for trying to bring that to light. But I do want to still try to encourage education and discourse. So I think in the next video, I'm going to make about why there's a lot of Asian owned businesses in Black neighborhoods and other histories that I think are applicable to our daily lives. But I do apologize if I don't address something that might people might want me to. Just because in the past I have had to private videos because it was taking a toll on my mental health.
Black parents with teenage children, please listen up. I have a message just for you. More than 2 million African Americans voted for Trump. And that's a major reason why we're in the mess we're in today under this white supremacist agenda. Many of those votes came from young Black men ages 18 to 27. And if you're like me, you're asking, why would they vote for Trump despite his racism? And here's the answer. Because of disinformation, which are lies designed to mislead our community, especially our youth. And much of it is coming from Trump, MAGA, and what I call pro-Black imposters on social media. These pro-Black imposters pretend to have our best interests at heart, but they are really working against us. That's why every parent of Black teenagers has a moral obligation to teach their teenage children 5 lessons. First, teach them that every founder of this nation was a white supremacist who believed God cursed us and created us inferior. Second, then teach your children, your teenagers especially, that those white supremacists wrote the Constitution itself with white supremacy laws to keep white supremacists in power and Black people oppressed and powerless. Third, white supremacists and their pro-Black imposter allies prey on ignorance. They target low information voters. Fourth, the best defense against this is critical thinking. And that requires education, strong reading skills, and a deep understanding of the Black struggle for equality from Africa to America. Fifth, tell your children, and you keep in mind, don't rely on the school system alone. Teach your children to be ferocious readers, to study experts and scholars, not social media influences with no real expertise and scholarship in the Black struggle. And most importantly, tell them to study the Bible, because it shows how another marginalized group, the Jews, overcame slavery and centuries of violence, hatred, and bigotry. And remember what Frederick Douglass said, you cannot enslave an educated person. So parents, teach your children these truths, because our freedom and that of our children depend on it. And remember, stay woke.
There's this subtle message that's been discussed about Black Americans and Africans who've migrated to first world, and I'll say specifically to the USA. And it's a very emotive subject. And I think what people are seeing out there, or the information that's out there, is not the true sentiments that people feel. I'm here to address the topics that are discussed in the table rooms or in the dinner tables of both Africans and Black Americans, because there's a disparity about how both of us feel. But we must acknowledge that the benefits that we reap as Africans when you come to the USA is driven by the sacrifices that Black Americans have made to get us where we want. Don't start from even the harassment by the cops. Start with the city ordinances that make your business thrive. Don't think about the affirmative action that get you in places, in colleges for yourself and for your school. And all the benefits that you reap basically, it's because the Black Americans who came here before us sacrificed for, and they made the way for you. That's why when you start a business, it becomes so easy. You can go get a license, start up a place, the basics are already set up for you. So when you come here and thrive, don't ignore the work that has been done or the ground that has been prepared for you to prosper in the USA. As a person who runs a business that's predominantly supported by Black Americans, I'm here to say that they are good people. You just have to be gentle, nice, good, understanding, and understand that there's a disparity between how we were raised up back in Africa and how they are raised up here. We came here as hungry tigers. We came here from a disadvantage, and we took advantage of the things that we took advantage of the things that were here. Having said that, we came here as a hungry tiger, ready to reap the fresh of what we found here. So we took advantage. Most of us went to college. We acquired some information. We were fast runners because we wanted to set our foot on the ground running. So that is why even in places of work, even in corporate, you see Africans start low, but they rise up very, very, very fast because they take advantage of the school loans, college-funded benefits from the college. So we go to school and we get degrees, and then we come and rise up. The later you become the managers of the people that you used to work with. And that doesn't go well with the Black Americans because historically they've been oppressed. They are mentally not prepared to hustle. Their families are defranchised. They have historical problems, and they've been hampered in so many ways from developing. But Africans who come here, we come on a clean slate. We come from a foreign land. We come here and we find opportunities, and we run with. We get the bull by the horns and run with it. But Black Americans also label Africans as people who are slow thinkers because our accent actually makes us look like we don't think or we don't have a rational understanding of how things are. But most of Africans play fool. You start your business, you grow it slowly, and as long as you give good services, you attract Black Americans and they come and support you. And by the way, they are very loyal customers. But don't shortchange them. Don't take their foolishness or kindness for granted. Give them the services. Don't show any arrogance. Be your brother's keeper. Be your sister's keeper. Be nice to them. Understand where they are coming from. Support them as much as you do. Because, like I say, education-wise, they are not as well level-headed as we are. I work in a business where I even help Black Americans fill up simple paperwork that I can do effortlessly. I don't even charge them. I'll help them fill up the paperwork like it's a bank information. I do a lot of clerical work for them. And to me, it's part of giving back. So I've never felt like they are less than me. And out of that, I've made very good friends. I have friends that I visit even after business. I interact with them. I've been to their families, weddings, funerals, name it. And I'm very comfortable with them. Before I purged into that, I was in the corporate world and I never used to interact with them. But once you interact with them, you find the sweetness in them. They are very understanding people. But you must respect them and know where they're coming from. And understand that you are who you are or you're doing well because of them. And if people can have that understanding and teach them where we come from. Most of them don't even understand the geography of Africa, so they think Africa is just one place when Africa has about 54 countries. They don't understand. Some people are like, have ever even asked, are you from Nigeria or Africa? So educate them, teach them, be nice to them, don't look down on them, and you reap benefits. So this boycott in August, as long as you do things right, as long as you have maintained your respect with them, it will go on. All this hype, all this hulabaloo that's out there, or just fizzle out. Asanteni, David Karaja here.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy DJ Bay, man, and I'm back with another video. The title of this video is going to be called My Message to Americans, Black Americans, Listen Up. Now, I just want to talk about what's been on my mind lately. You know, I see a lot of people, they post on the internet how, you know, life is getting hard and stuff like that, and I completely understand. But I wanted to talk about how important and crucial it is for people, Americans, who haven't done this already. It's how important it is for Americans to go to college or go to trade school, etc. So I want to talk to you guys. America is changing. You know, especially with the recent administration, executive administration with Biden, who basically let millions of undocumented immigrants into America, many of them illegal, pouring into America, right? All these people coming into America, all these foreigners coming into America, you know, they got to do something. And what are they going to do? They got to work, right? So, you're thinking, which jobs are they going to take? Well, they're going to take the jobs that do not require, number one, a skill, or number two, using your hands. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. They can't take jobs that will use your hands, because a lot of immigrants they use their hands. So I changed that. My bad. But requiring a skill that requires college, etc. Right? That's what I meant. So, excuse me. I've been having like a small cold. So there's a video on YouTube that I watched when I first watched years ago. And I haven't watched it in a long time, but it's called An Old Man's Advice on YouTube. And it's an old white guy. He passed away, from what I remember. He passed away like years later. But he made a video on YouTube called An Old Man's Advice. And what this video talked about was basically, there's going to be a time in America where there's going to be a high demand for people who can use these. What are these? These are people who can use their hands. It's going to be in high demand. People who have a skill, who learn something, for example, in trade school, you know, going to trade school, learning something, or going to college. There's going to be a time in America, he made this video 12 years ago, that there's going to be a time in America where those are going to be high demand. And this was 12 years ago when he made that, and it's true. So, you know, illegal immigrants, right? Because a lot of people, like with the Trump administration, a lot of people are talking about this. You know, and Black Americans, I'm talking to you as well. Who do you think these illegal immigrants, what kind of jobs do you think they're gonna take? You know, I'm talking to the ones, the Black Americans who haven't went to college, who don't have a trade school, they're just working some job, right? Who do you think these illegal immigrants, who do you think the jobs they're gonna take? They're gonna take the jobs that, you know, a lot of Black people or Americans, white Americans, whatever, they're gonna take the ones that you guys have, basically, because these are millions of immigrants who poured into this country. They gotta work, or they're gonna commit crimes. They're gonna do something to make money, right? They're gonna do something, and a lot of them are gonna get these jobs that do not require a skill or a college education. They're gonna take those jobs, right? Now, you know, it's never too late for an older person to go to college. It's never too late. Before I graduated, and first let me just go and tell you guys, I got my associate's degree and I got my bachelor's degree. I'm 26 years old, right? As of the time of this video, I'm 26 years old. 2025, July, right? Before I graduated and got my associate's degree, I'm gonna tell you a small little story. I remember I was in line before I graduated. I was in line, waiting to get my yearbook photos. Trying to get my yearbook photos for my associate's degree. And there was this woman. She was in her 30s. She was in her 30s, maybe early 40s. Late, it had to be like late 30s, late 30s, early 40s, something like that. And she just started talking to me. We're talking, and she was telling me how it was not easy for her to get her associate's degree, but she was so proud of herself that she finally got her associate's degree. And I said, hey, I'm proud of you too, So I just want to tell you guys that it's never too late to go to college. It's never too late. I don't care if you're in your mid-20s, 30s, 40s. It is never too late to go to college. While I was getting my bachelor's degree, I did a lot of programs that my college had to offer. And one program that I did was a study abroad. If you don't know what a study abroad is, it's when you travel to another country outside of America and you study. Like it's like a collaboration with other people, but you study the knowledge that they have to offer, right? And it can be very fun. It's meant to be fun. You're in another country and you're studying, right? Their knowledge, So I met a brother. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know if he wants me to put his business out there. But a brother, he has to be in his 40s. He was like the oldest person inside our dorm. Like it was like a college dorm out there. But we were hanging out with each other. We were cool. But he had to be in his 40s, right? And brother got his bachelor's degree. He was working on getting his master's degree, but he finally got his bachelor's degree, and he was working on getting his master's degree. And brother's in his 40s and getting his education. It's never too late to get your college degree. It's never too late to chase after your dreams. You feel what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you about another story. When I was a junior in college, I remember I used to see this brother. He was a Haitian brother. He had to have been in his 40s. I'm really good with like identifying and a good how can I say this, a good judgment of telling which age somebody is. You know what I'm saying? And this brother, he had to have been in his 40s, and he was Haitian. And every time we would see each other, he'd be like, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Everything good? Yo, what's up, man? Yo, oh, you doing your schoolwork? Good. Stuff like that. And I used to see him when I was in my junior year, but it's never too late to go to college. And he had to have been in his 40s, and I think he graduated by now because he said he was about to graduate. This is like years ago. He said he was about to graduate, and brother in his 40s, had to have been. It's never too late. Let me tell y'all about me, right? I first decided to go to college when I was 20 years old. I was 20 years old when I first decided to go to college in 2019. I did one semester, and at the time, I just wasn't ready to go to college, right? Wasn't ready. So I did that one semester, dropped out, and it wasn't until a year and a half later, it wasn't until 2 years later that I decided to go back to college and go full time in college, right? But what I'm trying to say is I didn't give up. You understand what I'm saying? I went back to school 2 years later when I was 22 years old, and by age 25, I got my bachelor's degree. You understand what I'm saying? So it took about 4 years, adding all the space, adding everything. It took I did one semester when I was 20, and then I did 3.5 years from age 22 to 25 to get my bachelor's. So altogether, it took about 4 years to get my bachelor's degree. But what I'm trying to say is I didn't give up. And it's very crucial. It's very crucial for you to, how can I say this? It's very crucial for you to go to college when you're ready. It's very crucial, because if you go to college and you're not ready, you're not mentally, or you're not in this right, you're not, what I mean mentally, there's a lot of people who wanna party, they wanna do drugs. If you're not in the right mind frame of you want to go to college and study, don't do it. Because if you go to college and you don't put in your effort and you fail if you fail your classes, that's those F's. See, college is not like high school. And that's another mistake that a lot of these people make when they go to college. They think that college is high school just because you're seeing a lot of young people around. It's not like high school. If you get F's on your college, you can get kicked out of college, bro. You can get kicked out, bro. Like dead ass, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's no bullshit, bro. Excuse my language. It's no game. You feel me? Like, you gotta, when you go to college, you really gotta be on top of your A game. You understand what I'm saying? So like, you know, a lot of people make mistakes. Like I just said, like they think it's high school when they go to college, and they think they can skip class. They can slack, talk to the girls, which is nothing wrong with talking to girls. You feel me? But like they think they can just slack, and you gotta be on top of your shit. You feel me? And it's just very important that you don't like slack when you go to college. You know. But that's basically all I wanted to really say. You know, America is changing. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna go back to what I said in the beginning of this video. Like the old man advice video, there's gonna be a time in America where it's gonna be in high demand, just like the old man advice video. I'm giving him credit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not plagiarizing. Understand? So it's gonna be a time in America where these are gonna be in high demand. People who have a skill, people who study something, people who went to trade school. I have a friend of mine who told me years ago, you know, that he was going to trade school. And I remember I hit him up like a while ago. How's trade school going? Oh, I'm under investigation, bro. I'm like, what's good, bro? Oh, I'm under investigation. Like, you know, they said I threatened somebody, and like, you know, he from the Bronx, whatever. Like you know, but like son, like, you know, like he said, they said I threatened somebody, and like now I'm under an investigation. Long story short, he's not in trade. He didn't finish trade school, so he got kicked out. That's what I'm thinking. I think he got kicked out. That's what he told me. And that big ass opportunity left because he fucked it up. Excuse my language. I don't know if he messed it up. I don't know, but he told me, you know, he threatened somebody, whatever, and they put an investigation, whatever. Listen, man, when you guys got opportunities, certain opportunities, you guys cannot mess it up. You understand me? That's my homie. That's the bro. But like, that's what I remember. Like, he told me, like, you know, I'm like, bro, like, you know, you going upstate to do some trade school, and like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, bro. I don't know too much about it. But like, anyways, you know, you just gotta. And he was young at the time. This is like 3.5, 4 years ago. So he had to have been about like 20 years old at the time, 21, 20. No, he had to be like 20 years old at the time. So he was young, you know, he was doing trade school. And yeah, you know. But that's the thing about trade school. If I remember correctly, trade school, you have to be from age 18 to 25 to do trade school, if I remember correctly. After that, you know, you can't. But, you know, there's plenty of ways where you can take advantage of what this great country, America, has to offer. You understand what I'm saying? Straight up. There's so many opportunities in this country. You understand what I'm saying? And you wonder why these immigrants, they come here and they capitalize off of so much that America has to offer. And it's sad how certain people, a lot of people just don't really realize, you know, the benefits that this country has to offer. I'm going to give you guys a line that J. Cole, the rapper J. Cole said. And I'm not plagiarizing, I'm giving him credit. Homie said, I came to take advantage of the shit that y'all niggas. Nah, he said, I came to take advantage of the shit y'all took for granted. Like, he's talking about like when he went to New York and he went to college and he sees all, like, straight up, he came to take advantage of the shit y'all take for granted. You feel me? Like, it's just, you understand me? It's real shit, bro. But anyway, this video is about 14 minutes long. It's never too late to go to college. It's never too late to chase after your dreams. It's never too late to get a skill, bro. It's never too late, bro. Straight up. That's all I gotta really say, you know. And let me know in the comments if you guys watched this whole video. You feel me? Let me know. And let me know if I should make more videos like this, you know, because I don't really make videos on YouTube like I used to. But hey, if you guys comment down, like the video, comment down, I'll make more videos. I got a lot to offer, and yeah, just let me know. It's your boy DJ Bay. Peace.
Black Americans, us going out in the street, holding demonstrations, and marching is no longer effective. Not only is it not effective, it's foolhardy. I know that's going to be a very controversial statement, But I really don't care. I only care about my community and our collective safety because I'm tired of hashtags. I'm tired of memorial services. I'm tired of GoFundMe's to support the victims of state sponsored violence. And that is all that you will get if you participate in No Kings demonstrations and other forms of protest that require you to take your black body out of your home and into these streets. The fascist regime that we are under is itching for a chance to unleash violence so that they can officially declare martial law across the land. They're already testing it out in Washington, D.C., and they're trying to target other blue cities right now, like Chicago. But see, they haven't been given an excuse yet to unleash the kind of violence that they want to unleash. But the moment we Black Americans go out in these streets in mass, they will have every excuse. Just like with the Black Lives Matter movement that was co-opted by outside agitators. And there is still that racist narrative about cities and neighborhoods burning down. Name me one city and one neighborhood that burnt down, and any property destruction that did occur was again from outside agitators. They are wanting to do that again. The time for we Black Americans to protest out in these streets is over. The most effective way for us to protest is with our dollars. The ones who need to go out in the street and march and demonstrate are the ones who have the complexion for protection, who got us in this mess in the first place. And they still have not drummed up that energy yet. They think about demonstrations and protesting as chances to get together and socialize with bounce houses and food carts and trucks. They haven't brought the energy up yet that they need to. And we do not need to go out there and make ourselves targets of law enforcement and the military, who again are just itching for a chance to unleash violence and to give this regime an excuse to go full on fascist while our blood and bodies run in the street. We are entering the major holiday season of this year. Now is the time to continue doing what we have been doing, putting that economic pressure on, saving our money, and when we do spend our money, being very selective to spend it with products and services and businesses that respect the Black American dollar and our community. That's how we are going to affect real change. These days of demonstrations and protests ultimately will not move the needle one bit. And I stand by that. Again, I'm only concerned with the safety and security of our community. Is it time for us to stop resting and to get back out in the street? No, it is not time for us to get back out in the street. It never will be again, in my opinion. We are resting, but we are resisting with the most important weapon we have, our cash. Y'all be careful out here.
What I need Black Americans to understand is that we don't have no diaspora unity and we don't have any POC allyship. These past few days, even weeks, when you get on TikTok, all you see is Black Americans being slandered by every other racial group and ethnicity group. We got Africans trying to tell us our history and that, and where we come from and all this other stuff. Then you got the whole Zulu parade argument with the South Africans, and then you got the West Africans joining in, all kind of stuff. Then you got us going against the Native Americans. Then you got us going against the, the Mexicans, the Arabs, and the freaking Chinese and Asians. When are we going to realize we have no allies? And I really want us to stop thinking that. Like, we really don't have any allies. We're at the bottom of the barrel and nobody likes us. That's why they're all attacking us at once. All these other racial groups and all these other ethnicities are literally ganging up to go against us. And y'all don't see it? I guess I'm the only person that sits here and sees it. Every time I see a live on TikTok, it's always mentioning us. Black Americans this, Black Americans that, African Americans this. And it's like, bro, they were literally the topic of the conversation. These people know who we are, they know the power we hold, and they know that we're awakening, and they're trying to suppress that because everybody benefited from us not knowing who we are and not knowing our true power. And now that we're tapping into it, it's making them mad. And that's why they're attacking us. Y'all gotta lock in. Whether a lot of them want to admit it or not, a lot of these other racial groups and ethnicity groups need us to survive. And now that we're not giving them that survival no more, they're going crazy, bro. I'm telling y'all. Watch what happens when we stop investing to the Arab stores, the Chinese stores, and the African stores. Watch what happens. I promise you it's going to get worse. Their true colors are really going to show. Stop paying your taxes. The Native Americans won't get funded no more. A lot of these foreign countries won't get any more aid from the United States because guess who money that they're sending overseas? Our money. Come on now, you gotta lock in. It's time for us to realize that this whole world relies on our back. This whole world functions because of us. And once we take that power back, oh, it's gonna be over with for everybody else. They're not gonna know what to do. But guess what? We always gonna survive. So stop arguing with all these people. Stop going back and forth with these people because it's not worth it. They're upset, they're angry, they're jealous, they're miserable. Because they know who we are, and they're trying to keep us from finding out who we are.
This is probably one of the most important messages that you're going to hear for 2025, especially if you're an African American. If Western society does not teach about the effects of slavery in their education systems, what do we as Black Americans believe that Western medicine teaches? As someone who has worked in clinical research for 8 to 10 years, I'm going to be brutally honest. I work in data management and I have seen what data entails, their systems. And as the 5 to 7% of Black professionals that work in that industry, I can tell you that Western medicine does not reflect our data. I did not notice the difference until I went to an Asian doctor in Bangkok and realized how Asians have more knowledge about the transatlantic slavery and how it affects the Black Americans in their genetics. I was told that Africans, European Africans, and African Americans have different genetic makeups. Diet, environmental factors, stressors, all of that play a major role. However, Black Americans being more impacted during the slavery and being removed from our culture, our eating habits, and things of that nature, coming to America, we acquired more health issues that were passed on generationally. This including high blood pressure, salt sensitivity, kidney disease, diabetes. All of these supposed predisposed diseases are all basis of the mistreatment on Black African individuals. So what does this mean for you? If you are not questioning your labs, if you are not reviewing them, if you are not analyzing them, do not go by what your doctors are telling you. Because Western medicine right now is like an In-N-Out burger shop. Because of my medical experience, because of my expertise in data management, I take the initiative to review labs. I've been taking care of my grandmother when she had cancer. My mom, she's dealing with things. I'm the one that they come to get insights, because let me tell you something. A lot of our people don't know, and they just go by what the doctors tell them. Please do not continue to do this. We need to be asking questions. How do prescriptions and these drugs that you are giving me affect Black individuals? Prime example, lisinopril, that should be something that should be evaluated, because from my understanding, the Black effects on Black women, it is not more effective than it is anything. It's more damaging. Or I can use this as an example, someone being provided metformin and them having kidney failure. It's not making any sense. Western medicine is reactive. And if our education systems don't prioritize the effects of slavery, healing in America is healing generations, especially as a Black American. Your health is crucial. And I'm only saying this because I know exactly what I'm talking about because I've been going through it. The healing is not just on the surface or internal, it's on a spiritual standpoint. I'm gonna go more into my story about my experience in Bali with my Balinese healer who I actually partner with, and will be doing healing for women of color or all women in general. But that was my first experience on a spiritual level to identify the true problem. And I was there supported by my grandfather, who I had no idea why he was there or why he was present. And as days had passed, I had this awakening and this idea. He had died from kidney disease. He went to go get his legs amputated and died from having a heart attack. He struggled with kidney disease. His brother struggled with kidney disease and passed away from that. It was something that was ongoing in his family. And his presence and my desire to heal and my initiative to take action against what doctors tell me is a predisposition, and that I'm more inclined to obtain it or have it because of the behaviors of the people in my past. No, I'm spiritually healing, internally healing, and physically healing so that I am proactive and that does not become the end of my story. So with the level of women who are dealing with preeclampsia, high blood pressure, our youth, our diets, we have to make a change. And if you have any questions, or if you are someone who's able to advocate for yourself, please do so for the people in your family if you have the opportunity to do so. We need to represent ourselves, because just like in most of these other areas of our lives, Western medicine, they don't care about us.
Anyways, these are all I got for this video. And you guys can see the message that a lot of people are actually sending across, from the ones that have teenage children, to the ones that have actually helped immigrants, so just a whole lot. But in all, we just know that Black American people are special people and unique people. I've been able to share my story as well here, where I have a Black American queen that is actually supporting my life even up till date. And I really love and appreciate her so, so much. And you can imagine that me and my beautiful Black American mom, we've not even met like physically one-on-one, but we've been vibing. Like, every single thing about Black people are just special. I don't know why, right? I think, and that is why a lot of people want to take this our meekness for granted. But honestly, Black American people are people that if you really get close to them, you will know that they do not have any issue at all. But in all of that, I still keep saying it, especially to my Black American people, because I care a lot about them, that I literally do not trust any single person around them, especially if those people are coming from Asian, Hispanics, Latinos, Latinas, whatever they call themselves. I don't even want to know. I really do not have like that 100% trust in them. I'm not saying that there are other people that are not genuine, right? There are other people that are genuine as well, but I really do not 100% just still trust them. And I want to also inform my Black American people that in everything you're doing, you also need to always make sure you're coming through for each other, because I believe that a lot of people can come here, wrap up their mouth and be like, oh, we're going to stand by you, we're going to support you. And at the end of the day, they get disappointed. It is only when they need Black Americans to come through for them that they will not start saying all of the stuff that they usually know how to say best. Like, Black American people are the people that can actually save us. Black American people are the only Haba originated people. Black American, like, it's just gonna be a whole lot. But I'm not saying that Black American people should actually not help. Helping is good, but when you're helping, just help with your two eyes wide open like this. Because there are a lot of people that are sheep in wolf clothing, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. So, and I know that a lot of Black American people have actually been hurt in recent times. So I just want you guys to forgive wherever the hurt is actually coming from. I just want you guys to know that you people are unique. And even if a lot of people do not value you, people like us value you from head to toe. For someone like me, I value, I love, I cherish, and I appreciate you guys, because you guys, to be honest, are one of the sweetest, kindest person that I've ever met. And I'm saying this, even my Black American mom always know that I do not joke with the love I have for Black folks. Yeah. Let it make sense to me that I don't love you people. I'm going to love another person. Am I okay? Am I okay? Why do I need to love another person? Where I literally have people that I should pour my love on. So I'm not going to pour my love on anybody, but I'm going to pour my love on Black Americans. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. Like, comment, follow for more. And yes, with no further ado, I'm going to be saying bye and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah. I love you guys. Mwah. You push it, tell me that you love me in the comment section.